Please note that in this recording, some of the questions may be inaudible, but the master's answers are audible and clear.
Any question you would like to ask?
Question is inaudible.
Yes, sir. Actually, home is very difficult to describe. Home, the base of home is attachment. The back, you see, home is based on attachment. Anything which attaches us to creation is home. And all these five perversions, on the base of it, there is attachment, sense of possession, all in these five perversions. So home, in the broader sense, nothing but an attachment, which creates attachment. Anything which creates attachment within us of any action is home. Now you can analyze yourself whether any particular thing comes in a home or not. Any action which brings us to this creation is home.
So my mind, only lately, divided in two parts. One is really vanity. The other is really pride. Really, I am proud of my great achievement.
No, these are outcome of home. These are expressions of home. Vanity, ego, lust, greed, they are outcome of home. On the base of all that, there is attachment. Attachment to power, attachment to ambition, attachment to possess more and more. All this is home. But you see, actually, without these instincts of the mind, nobody can function in this creation at all. If you take away all the five instincts from the mind, you cannot function in this creation at all. But you see, the purpose of Shabad is to make these attachments superfluous, that we are not obsessed by them, and so that attachment may, you see, start creating detachment within us from all these five perversions. Without mind, nobody can function in this creation at all, not for a day. Mind has to be there to function in this creation. Because soul refuses to function in this creation. Soul is anxious to go back to its own origin. Soul at all is not interested in this creation at all. Soul doesn't want anything of this creation. It's always yearning towards its own origin, to its own source. So this is only the mind which makes us move in this creation. And this home, you call it, attachment you call it, mind you call it, ultimately they one and the same. Tendency of the mind towards the creation is home. Call it mind, you call it home, you call it attachment, give it any name. But since we have to function in this creation, so we have to use our mind with best intention, best ability.
Maharaj, yes, right. itself being called or stimulated. Say, instead we are all opposed to the mind functioning anyway. The mind may function, but function is in a nobler way, not in a vicious way.
That's right. You see, even when it functions in a nobler way, it can create harm. Now, you want to do something in charity. Your intention is very noble. But at the same time, you want to blow trumpet about it. Your mind is functioning very nobly. But you want to blow trumpet about it. You want that people should praise it, give you recognition about all that. That is harm. Mind is acting very nobly. So mind plays many parts. Mind can project itself in many ways.
Maharaj was trying to point out that the person may be rendering very good service to humanity without blowing his own trumpet, without even being talked about, without his talking about himself, spiritually. But he is motivated by the noble stuff. Since mankind,
That is better. That is a better approach to life. But even that can create harm. Even that can create attachment to a noble cause. You forget absolutely the Creator, and you are just attached to the noble cause which you have taken, and you don't want to blow any trumpet about it at all. You want to help them, to serve them. Your mind is absolutely noble. Your cause is noble. You don't want any recognition. But since you are attached to that particular ambition to help people, even that is harm. In a better sense you can say it, but that is also a harm. Actually, harm is very difficult to live in this creation without harm. Wife, child, friends, it's all harm which makes us, you see, connected with each other. My wife, my child. We can't say it anything else. And we are definitely, happy to own them and to belong to them. That is harm. Our cause is noble. You see, without harm, we cannot exist in this creation at all. So saints only advises us that you attach yourself to Shabad and Naam. It will automatically detach you from this creation. Your mind won't remain obsessed with these things. And all these slowly and slowly attachments start fading out. And actually, harm you can only eliminate when you go beyond the realm of mind and Maya. Even then, if you have to live in this creation, you can't live without harm. Even when you have gone beyond the realm of mind and Maya, even then, without harm, you can't live in this creation. When you come back to this level of the creation, some sort of harm will have to be there. Mind has to be there. Somebody has to tell you you are thirsty, you take up a cup of glass and drink. You are hungry, let me go and eat my meals. Mind has to be there. Without mind, you see, you can't function in this creation. But we can call it a better mind, noble mind, pure mind. Because as long as the mind is there, harm is there. Yes.
Master, isn't it the same force of common is attached to the Shabad, the same force of attack, the same power which is attached to the Shabad?
It's the mind. The mind is attached to Shabad. And since the soul is mixed with the mind, So soul is taking advantage of it. Soul is taking advantage of it.
The other night you said separation is necessary part of love. So the Lord used the power of Om to separate from himself, and uses the same power to take back to himself.
Well, he knows best. But separation definitely helps you to realize where you stand in your love. How much depth it has, how much root it has. Whether it is only on the lips or only on the face, or there's something deeper in it. Definitely separation helps you to realize that. Yes.
We own a small farm and breed sheep. And each year, a certain number of these are sold to be killed. Could be sufficient just count this?
Well, sister, if you breed them for killing, then of course you are involved in it. If we breed cattle so that they may be killed, or their skin may be sold, definitely we are involving ourselves in their killing. We are party to it. Yes.
If a person is involved with women who choose to have an abortion, is that person who, as a nurse for instance, is she anyway karmically involved?
Pardon?
If a nurse has to care for a woman who's made a choice to have an abortion, is the nurse in any way responsible?
Well, if she is instigating her to get it done, then to that extent she is responsible. If the other person's decision is there and she is just helping it, and the law allows it, then naturally to that extent she is not involved in it. Yes.
And can you tell us more about separation from God and union with God? Because a lot of us here are a bit miserable about having to go, leave here and go back to our countries again,
Pardon?
A lot of us here are very miserable about having to leave here and go back to the West again because it's just so empty and dead, Can you tell us more about separation from God and more about union?
Well, sisters, separation from God is there. We are facing it every day. And we are trying for the union. And you know how to try for it. What are there to talk about it? Christ says, blessed are those who mourn, for they shall get comfort or rest, something like that. Who feel the separation of the Father. You see, unless you are thirsty, you won't look for the water. Unless you are hungry, you don't search for the food. So unless you feel the separation of the Father, you won't try to be one with the Father. When we feel the separation, we yearn to become one with Him, then we try to search Him also. So they are the blessed people who have that longing, that bira, that love, devotion for the Father, who are restless to become one with Him. They are the fortunate ones. Only a sick person is in search of a doctor, not a healthy person.
Who said that the water created the dry lips to seek the water back. Rumi says in the Mathematics that water created the dry lips to seek back the water.
That's right. Yes.
Master, when you give us blessings, like the shot that you gave us the candy, and we choose to share it with someone else, is there anything wrong with that?
Well, sister, nothing wrong with that. If it is your wealth and you want to distribute it to others, nothing wrong with it. You have every right to distribute your wealth. So you'll be poorer by that much. Yes.
After the story of, I believe it was the cobbler Saint Ravi Das, is that correct?
Story of?
Ravi Das, who was the cobbler saint?
Yes.
And he gave a man some tallow with this cup of water. He gave him a little cup, and the king poured it down his sleeve, and the tallow got in his sleeve. Because he didn't drink the water, the woman who washed his shirt.
You see, this was just a means he adopted to awaken that Raja, king, who was full of ego, and also at the same time, he was in search of God. He was quite proud of his position as a Raja. And yet the search was there within. And he was afraid of the public opinion, that people will say me that being a Raja, I'm going to a cobbler and drinking his blessed water. And there's nothing in that water. He just, you see, the saints have their own ways and means to kindle that flame within us, to put us right, to set our ego at rest, to take away public opinion from within us. That was just the means adopted, you see. The same Raja became a very great mystic, great saint. And he had written a lot of Shabads, which are available in Granth. Because in India, caste system, even now it's very prevalent. I don't say that it has gone. Maybe a little less. People are less prejudiced about the caste now. But still it is there to a great extent. They always hesitate to go to other caste, especially in marriages. But even otherwise in their daily dealings, they're always conscious of their own caste, own community. And it was more prevalent in those days. But it was greatness of that Raja. He went to a cobbler in search of the Lord. It was greatness of Mirabai. She also went to the same mystic, same cobbler saint. And she had to adopt many type of ways and means to reach him. Because ladies you see in the Maharaja's houses, no matter they are called queens, but they are just like prisoners. Very difficult for them to escape from their palaces, to go to anybody. They have no freedom of their own at all. But yet the flame was there within her. And she has been going in sometime in disguise, sometime boldly. Ultimately she ran away in search of him. She never even thought that he is a cobbler and I am a Rajput princess. And he is living in a small hut and I am living in palaces. That thing didn't stand in her way. That is why she achieved to that height. So, same way Raja Pipa, he also, when he realized his folly, he also pronounced him as his master. And prostrated before him right in the eyes of the public, his own subject. He never hesitated then. But it took little time to get rid of that, you see, public criticism. Yes.
Astronomers have discovered the sun is a great source of radio waves. Does this mean that the sun is possibly the source of the Shabd in the universe?
Shabd has created all that. Shabd has created the whole creation. And Shabd is sustaining the whole creation. And when the Lord will withdraw the Shabad, the whole creation will come to an end. Now you can understand from where the Shabad is getting energy. I'm sorry, the Suraj and other things getting energy. These 5 elements are inimical to each other. The earth, water, the fire, the air, the ether, they are all inimical to each other. But it is just the Shabad which is holding them together. And we see this whole creation.
One of the great master's letters, it said that the sun, in the sun you could hear the bells sound very clearly, and it was a very powerful source of Shabd. I wonder if you...
Not in this sun he is referring to.
Not this sun.
No. He is referring to within moon and sun and star, not outside. Yes.
Last time, in the Professor's reading, it mentioned that the great saints do not do miracles, Guru Nanak, etc. And yet, some of them did. Moses followed the king to be a snake, and Jesus came back after his death.
Well, brother, I follow your point. Saints don't come here to perform miracles. Miracles do happen in their lifetime. At least they look to us that they are miracles. But they don't perform so many miracles as they are attributed to them. In order to make them great, we attribute a lot of miracles to them. Actually, they don't come here to perform miracles. And that is not their motto, a motto of coming here. But miracles do happen in their lifetime. The greatest miracle the mystic can perform, change our attitude to this life. He pulls us from this creation and attaches us to the Creator. That is the greatest miracle they come to perform. They pull us from here, they plant us there. But other these worldly things which we call miracles do happen here and there. But that is not their main motto. As you read in the Bible, Sermon on the Mount, to begin with, it's written that hearing his fame, many people, cripples, lame, blind, lepers, came from Syria, Jordan, so and so countries. They never came to him for any spiritual knowledge, to learn any spiritual teaching. People only went to get healed. They only went to a mistake that he should perform miracles to heal them. But what did he do? When he saw them coming, it is written in the Bible, he went to the top of a mountain and said thus. He started giving them preaching. So if here and there he performed some miracle, it means that his idea was to collect the masses, collect the people to him, so that he may give them the real spiritual teachings. Not to he didn't start healing them. He started giving them sermon from that mountain. And you read that beautiful sermon. It is given to them who came to him just for being healed, not for a spiritual knowledge. They were not spiritually hungry at all. So it means that his purpose was not to perform miracles. He may have done here and there to collect the people, collect the masses, to hear him, to have little faith in him, so that they may make use of his teachings. Yes.
The point satsang, a little bit that I could understand was about surrender for Charan. And I think Bhati Sahib was mentioning something about the modern affluent societies
and all these technological advances, things like TV, computers, and games, and all of the byproducts of this modern civilization. And he was speaking about surrender in relation to this. Could you?
But I can't say in what relationship he talked about that modern civilization. I don't recollect and remember at all. But definitely, surrender is impossible without love. You can never surrender to anyone without love. Love makes you surrender. Love makes you to dance at another person's tunes. Love makes you to merge in another person, to give yourself to another person. That is real surrender. Calculated surrender doesn't need us too much. If I say I'll do whatever you say, but in my heart, I don't agree what you say. My mind still thinks he's very hard on me. But since I have committed myself, I must do. That is no surrender. Because love makes you blind. You don't think what are the consequences of that order, whether it is right or whether it is wrong. It's not for you to judge at all. You have ceased thinking with your mind, and it's only the obedience has come. And that level can only come by love, not by calculated surrendering. So actually, surrender means losing your own identity to become another being. You don't exist anymore at all. Only the other person exists. That is surrender. Then you don't need any meditation at all. But this level cannot come without meditation. It is impossible. We can surrender what belongs to me. It doesn't belong to me, what can I surrender? I surrender my body, that I'll do whatever order you give me. By this body I'll do. But mind is not in my control at all. That is no surrender at all. I criticize you, I talk ill of you, I question your judgments, but still I do what you tell me to do. That is no surrender at all. That is an attempt to surrender, you can say. In real surrender, mind doesn't think at all. So then that can only be possible when without meditation is impossible. So Sharan is of two kinds, internal and external. We follow the teaching of a mystery and live in the way of Santmat life and do our best to please him. That is also surrender. But the real surrender comes within. When mind ceases to exist, ceases to think, and merge into another being, that is real surrender. I don't know in what connection he was referring to the modern civilization.
Maybe that discussing difficulties of the modern civilization, the distractions of it. These all these gadgets have become a source of attachment and so forth.
You see, Doctor, the problem is these gadgets should not possess us. We should possess them. Now we have become slave of these gadgets. They are not our slaves. We invent all these gadgets to get time for ourselves. Now, where a house lady used to cook in 2-3 hours, now she can cook with these modern gadgets, perhaps 15-20 minutes. So it means she has been able to save 2.5 an hour. But has she any time? Is that 2.5 an hour is at her disposal? She finds difficult even to snatch 15 minutes to cook now. First we used to go on foot from one village to another village or to another destination. May take us a day or a two to reach. Then we got a cycle. We could just reach within 1 hour. But whatever time we could save by inventing a cycle, have we any made use of that for ourselves? We were not satisfied. Then we had cars. Then we had planes. Then we have jet planes, supersonic planes. And yet we have no time for ourselves. With all this, we have no time for ourselves. Now they possess us or we possess them. We have become slave of these buttons. They should be for our advantage. Not that we become slave of them. That is modern civilization. We have no time to sit, to rest, to relax, or for our own self at all. We have all time for others. Whatever we are doing, nothing else. We should make use of these modern gadgets. I'm not against them, but not at the cost of becoming more and more busy with them, more and more slave of them. Yes.
I was reading in Science of the Soul, it said when a baby is inside the womb of the mother, that it still can see its lifetimes. What is it that, and then at the time of birth that this is taken away, what is it that happens at the time of birth that stops our vision of these lifetimes?
What happens is the birth. The moment the child takes a birth, separated from the mother, it forgets the whole past. At once, it becomes slave of this maya, this illusion. That's what the mystic says. The child has, knowledge about his past within, not when it comes out. Yes.
But till the time that it makes contact through the senses with the world.
Pardon?
The baby, until the time comes that it makes contact with this outside world, it still has a strong relation to the inner worlds. I have seen.
Some they know about their past. But as you grow, you forget. Some have recollection of their past, but when they grow, they forget. Yes.
Master, as satsangi parents, would it be an advantage to the child, say 3 or 4 years old, if we would begin teaching them about attachment? For instance, if we would say to them, "You are not my child, I am not your mother, the Lord is your only father." Would that confuse them?
That will make you more and more attached to the child. Whole day you will be conscious that I should not be attached to him and he should not be attached to me. And you are making him attached to yourself. Why make him conscious at all? You do your duty. Let him grow to understand. Yes?
You were just talking about Mirabai and that not being afraid of public criticism is a good thing. In the Satsang last night, what was discussed was that knowing about the path is a really precious jewel that we should keep to ourselves. Those two things seem.
No. Keeping to ourselves system means that we are not to blow trumpet of what we have within ourselves, what we have achieved. That will create ego in you. That will give you a feeling that you are something superior than others. That is very different. We have to digest within ourselves whatever we have, His grace. Otherwise, we try to show off to others what they couldn't achieve. And that gives us air unnecessarily. And danger is always of becoming victim of this ego. That is very different. But we should not be bothered with the public opinion. What will people say that I have become satsangi? Christ has said in the Bible, if you refuse to own me here, I refuse to own you in my Father's house. That is what he wanted to tell people. Why should you be shy to own me? Why are you shy to be on the path? Why are you shy to follow my teachings? We are so much worried about the public opinion, concealing that you are my disciple. Then you have no faith in me, you have no love for me. You think world is greater than me. You care more for the public opinion than for me. Then how you can become worthy of me? That is what he was trying to teach. Yes.
Master, Christ having been a perfect saint and having gone beyond the realm of mind and Maya, how could he be tempted by the devil?
He wasn't tempted. Devil tried to tempt him.
Yes.
There's a difference. You see, when you go within, many type of obstacles come in your way. Many type of obstacles come in your way, and they try to tempt you and try to lead you off the path. But since your master is there, so you are not allowed to be tempted at all. And moreover, saints also tell these things to warn us about the teachings. They have to explain us some way what type of obstacles they have felt, whether they felt or not. At least what we can feel, we can be confronted with within. So they try to tell us such things. Yes.
And going back to talking about public opinion, I went through a whole conflict before I came because just what you were saying became very important to me about people asking where I was going. I was so happy to be coming here. And I tried to explain to certain people that I was coming to see my spiritual teacher. And I realized afterwards, with the kinds of comments that I got, that I hadn't used good discretion because these people didn't understand. And yet often I feel like it should be okay for me to say that I do have a spiritual teacher.
Sister, there's nothing to conceal and nothing also to unnecessarily announce. One has to be little discrimination. You must use your discrimination also. Nothing to conceal also. And unnecessarily, there's no necessity of pronouncing it also.
What's the difference between us?
Lot of difference. You go on telling all your neighbors that you have become satsangi. Right in the morning, you start knocking at them and trying to tell them. And if on the other hand, you really find some really interested in you, your friend, asks you, and you tell him, this is my reason. There's all the difference. You see, if they are your real friends, They'll appreciate your point of view. If they are not your real friends, you are not much concerned to tell them also. It doesn't matter to you. Whether they criticize or whether they say anything, it doesn't matter with you. If you are really interested in you, then they will try to, naturally they will understand you. Yes.
Master, last night Professor said that the Master is much more severe in the inner regions. Why would a Master be more severe or more?
I think it is better to experience within, whether he's severe or loving. This is also a comparative word. These are all comparative words. Yes.
Several nights ago, you said that all disciples are puppets, and that the Lord is the puppeteer. Is Dera a repair shop for the puppets?
Dera's repair shop? Which is that repair shop?
Is Dera a repair shop for the puppets?
Well, he knows best. Has puppet any free will? Have we free will? Aren't we puppet then? Then?
My question relates to I understand it means something associated with truth.
That's right.
Maybe only myself, I didn't see a low in बोली सत्संग क्या एक और मूक सत्संग सत्संग is silent, but the daily satsang is not in association with other satsangis, and it is not essential that the subgroup physically at that gathering in order properly to call it satsang. Each gathering of satsang or physical satsang, either in silence or by words, that will be my mind satsang.
Chasab, that is right. Christ says that wherever you assemble in my name, I'll be there. Wherever you assemble in my name, I will be there. So wherever we assemble in the name of the Master, or for the sake of that truth, as you say, satsang means association of truth, association with truth. That is real satsang meaning. So when we are attending to the Shabad and Naam within, that is also satsang. That is also association of the truth within. That is internal satsang. And we can have external satsang where we discuss truth and where we try to create the desire in other to achieve that truth, to experience that truth within. That is also satsang. In satsang, you see, there should be no politics should be discussed, no gossips should be made, and only anything which creates or fills you with devotion of the Lord, that should be taken in satsang. And that is the purpose of satsang, to strengthen our faith and to help us to grow our love for meditation. That is satsang. Yes?
At the time of initiation, we were told about the sounds. Could you discuss the sounds for us, please?
Pardon?
The sounds at the time of initiation.
Yes.
We hear about the sounds. Can you tell us about the sounds?
What is there to discuss about it? I have not followed your question.
I'd like to hear something about the sounds.
Like the sounds that we hear at initiation, or when we're doing the bhajan.
You see, every one of you will get an opportunity, those who didn't get before, to attend the initiation after the Bandara. And you will understand everything. And sound, you see, we should try to keep our attention here at the eye center and hear whatever is audible within. And we should never try to differentiate one sound from the other, or try to pick up the right type of sound. Otherwise, our mind will be lost in picking up or being attentive to the right type of sound. With the help of concentration, with the help of Simran, all other sounds automatically fade out. And that remains distinct and pulling. And automatically then we are pulled with that sound. Yes?
Maharaj, we're told that we should constantly subject ourselves to introspective examination. And yet we are also told that it's harmful to analyze ourselves too much. And I was wondering if you could give us some clues, perhaps, on how to conduct this examination of ourselves without going to the point where it becomes detrimental.
You see, instead of judging anyone else, we should try to judge ourselves. Instead of sitting judgment on others, we should sit on judgment on ourselves. That are we worthy to judge anybody else? Have we achieved that level from where we can judge anybody? Have we achieved that within ourselves that we are going to judge others? I don't know what is your particular question.
It's about examining ourselves introspectively. You have said on occasion that it's wise not to analyze ourselves too much.
That is right. Instead of cursing ourselves or repenting about our past and analyzing about our past, it's better to attend to meditation. Instead of cursing the darkness, light the candle. That's more positive. So there's no sense in too much analyzing your past. And there's no sense in always pitying yourself. We should take a positive step to attend to meditation. You see, it is not the events, but the attitude towards those events which makes us happy or unhappy. So what is the sense of analyzing those events every day? We should change our attitude. If those events have to happen, they will happen. But we should try to change our attitude to those events so that they don't affect us, they don't bother us. Yes?
Maharaji, we are told not to talk about our experiences on Sant Mat. Now, what constitutes an experience?
Whatever you experience, that constitutes experience.
I know, but you know what I mean? I mean, we know the inner experience, but what about the outer experience? Say we come to Dera, that could be an experience.
We don't mean that. We mean internal spiritual progress within. Internal spiritual progress within. Yes.
Well, last night you said that I or ego is quiet if soul not living is created. So I'm wondering whether one never blame any individuals after
You see, it's not that it is required You can't get rid of it. Being here at this level, there's bound to be some reflection of an ego within you in order to work in this creation. Without that, you can't work. Ego means mind. Without mind, you can't work. You can't live in this world.
People do terrible things, haven't they?
That's right. But I don't say that we should be very egoistic. I say some sort of ego definitely remains. I don't say that we should always be full with it. I never said that. You see, some sort of reflection or shade of an ego still will be there as long as we are in this creation. But we should try to get rid of it as much as we can. But, as I said, mind is required to function in this world. Without mind, soul will not function in this world at all. Because soul tendency is in a different direction. It's not towards this creation. Soul tendency is towards the Creator. So it is the mind which forces the soul to move about in this creation. So as long as we have to move about in this creation, mind is required. But it is better to have a noble mind, a better mind, a higher mind, a friend rather than an enemy. As long as the mind pulls you downward, it is your enemy. When it is full with emotions for the Lord, it raises you upward. As I said the other day, it is the same love. When it's an emotion, it raises us up. When it is passion, it degrades us down. Same mind. So we have to win the friendship of the mind. We should try to make our mind a good friend, a good guide, and a noble guide. But we can't get rid of it as long as we are in this creation. Otherwise, we can't function in this creation without the mind. Yes?
Maharajji, how does a person recognize that the time has come for him to make the necessary renunciations, follow the necessary renunciations, and follow this path? What are the sort of motivations that should drive a person?
Well, it comes from within. There's no question of for you to decide then. Something else decides within you.
But perhaps one doesn't always recognize what is driving one, and what is within inside oneself.
Your thinking will become like that. Your decisions will become like that. You'll be molded in that way to decide accordingly.
By what?
Some power within.
Resulting from what?
It is not for you to decide when now my time for renunciation has come, or now my time for detachment has come. There is someone else within you who is deciding all this.
And how do I recognize this?
You are nobody to recognize it. You are the part of it. You are not separate from that. You yourself feel that pull from within.
It's still difficult to recognize it, perhaps.
You automatically become helpless. You will have no other decision but that.
So if one doesn't feel an overpowering urge to make these renunciations and to follow the path, one should not do so.
Well, that is not in your hand even. When you are made to follow the path, you will automatically follow the path. It's not in your hand at all. The pull will be so strong you won't be able to resist it. You won't be able to live with yourself. Otherwise.
So long as one can live with oneself, one is all right just to forget about the path and continue with...
It is not a question with you to forget about the past. It is till yet you are unfortunate, that's all.
But there is a normal sort of, what I think of as the conscious me, that makes day-to-day decisions. Shall I have dal or shall I have chicken for lunch? That sort of conscious ego.
Well, this will also fade out when that pull will come. Then you will have no other decision but to follow the path. Automatically chicken become meaningless to you.
So as long as I have to make a conscious decision between eating dal and eating chicken...
As long as the mind is dominating, you have no option but to follow the mind. When somebody start controlling your mind, you will have no option but to follow him.
Is there anything one should do?
Just be receptive, and that is also not in your hand.
Why am I here?
He will make you receptive when he wants to.
Thank you.
Yes.
Master, in the Bible it says that God is a jealous God. And what I want to know is just what that means, and I want to know how much love are we allowed to give others besides God?
Sister, but you know the meaning of jealous. Means he doesn't want you to love anybody else. He only wants you to love him. That is what he means that he is jealous. Christ says, if you love your father and mother more than me, you are not worthy of me. Worthy of me, worthy to become me. Then he says, unless you become worthy of me, you cannot become worthy of the Father. When you become me, then you will become the Father. But you can only become me when you love me more than your relation, than other people in this world.
I understand that. Now what I want to know is how much love are we allowed to give others?
Sister, it's not a question of allowing. As your cup is being filled, air automatically goes out of it.
That's all right.
As long as you will go on being filled by the love and by the Father, other loves automatically start fading out.
That's what I want to know, because it feels like I get full and I just have to love. I have to love too.
No, you can go on loving. I mean, as I said, there is no harm in having any regard for anybody. But when we are filled with His love, other attachments automatically fade out. That attachment starts creating detachment in us.
Master, if we're filled with your love and it's overflowing, and then other people come by and you just want to love them too, how can you not love them? Because if you keep all that inside.
You see, then you love the Master within them, not them.
You love the Master the most. You love the other people, the brothers and sisters.
Yes. You will also have affection for them because you see the reflection of Master within them.
In their eyes. In their eyes, you look in their eyes and you know.
You see, then you don't love them at all. Then you are loving the Master actually in them.
And so that's all right.
But you can't help it. You see, if you love the Creator, you will love His creation automatically. Because you will see the Creator within everyone. Then you are not attached to any particular person. You are attached to the Creator within them. Then you love everybody. That is why Christ said, first thing He said, love thy God with all thy heart, with all thy mind, with all thy soul. He said that is the first commandment. If you are able to achieve that, Then he says, love thy neighbor. Then you will love the whole universe, whole creation. Unless we are able to achieve the first commandment, we cannot step on the second one. Then this whole universe becomes our neighbor. Then we love everybody in this universe.
Well, since I've been to Dera, it seems it's been that way.
Take your Dera with you. There is a very famous story. I don't know if it was Sheikh Farid or some other Muslim mystics. He was being accompanied by his disciples. And in the way, he met one or two people. He kissed them. He said, how beautiful is my Lord. And every disciple kissed them, saying the same thing, how beautiful is my Lord. When he went little ahead, there was some ironsmith heating that iron plate. He went and he kissed that plate. He said, how beautiful is my Lord. Then no disciple kissed that plate. Yes, please.
Maharajji, it is said of the Saint Sarmad that towards the end of his life, he was arraigned before the Muslim court. And one of the charges put against him was that when saying the Muslim creed, there is no God but Allah, he stopped. He simply said, there is no God, and left it at that. And they said, why do you do this? His reply was, I've only got this so far in my devotions that I can see the idea of God, but I cannot actually see there is God. All I can say so far is there is no God.
No, you must not have understood all what is written.
That is, no?
I don't think that was his idea. Actually, he was beheaded because he used to stay naked. He would remain naked always.
This is one of the charges, I know.
And that was a charge put against him. And he was called to the court and he was told, why don't you put clothes? He said, I have nothing to hide from God. You people have so many sins around you, so you want to hide. But I have nothing to hide from him. So what is the sense of my putting any clothes? That was his answer to him. So he was definitely referring to the God.
Certainly in a couple of books I've read, including the Ezekiel book, it mentions this charge, that he didn't complete the creed, and that he said, because I haven't got to that point. That,
maybe to some extent he must have said something like that. I can't say unless I read it, you see.
But this raises the idea of someone who is working hard at mystic devotions, without, until the very end perhaps, knowing whether he's achieved or what he's achieved, or whether there is anything to achieve.
That stage won't come unless he has something achieved. That stage will not come. To what extent they achieve, that is a different thing.